Hey guys, how's it going? I found this trailer from the Dr. Phil show. You can find it on YouTube, Dr. Phil show, uh, September 7th. In this particular clip, it's basically a trailer of what's coming on the show, on that particular show for the Trayvon Martin George Zimmerman case. So I thought it was an interesting clip, so I wanted to talk about it. Let's go ahead and get started.
Of Dr. Phil.
I am the best friend of George Zimmerman, the most hated man in America.
You've never spoken out before. Why now?
The shocking defense of Trayvon Martin's killer.
You helped him pick out the gun he killed Trayvon Martin with.
He's legally allowed to carry a weapon.
Yeah, it is. It's legal to carry a weapon. It's amazing. You know, it's weird that the people of this country have been so dumbed down by the school systems in the last 50 years that people don't realize that there is still a Second Amendment. It's the weirdest thing. What happened to our society? Why are people so stupid? Why is American schools so low on the totem pole when just 50 years ago we were the top? How did this happen? Well, that's something that I do want to talk about in another clip about, remember what happened in Chicago and all of the teachers, deciding to go on strike. Remember, Chicago is Obama's town. So this should be fun to talk about, but we'll talk about that another time.
Neighborhood watch, not a neighborhood hunt.
What a stupid point. Now, see, I had made a video yesterday about this case and about Dr. Phil, and I had to, it got bumped because it had apparently something in the title wasn't proper or correct, and they bumped it. So I made another video, and I posted it on my other account, Opinionated Todd. So if you want to see that other video, you can go to Opinionated Todd and see that. I'll be, now that I have two accounts, I'll be posting some on both accounts. So you'll see, if you see Opinionated Todd or Poker Face Todd, you'll know that's me. Anybody else that's posting my videos, you post my videos in total, I'm not going to, it doesn't bother me, go right ahead. You want to talk about my videos, help yourself.
Exclusive.
Did he have to pull that trigger?
I believe 100% yes.
And of course, that was what we were talking about yesterday on my other account, is that George was going to die if he didn't pull that trigger. So, that was basically what that guy was suggesting in the video, is that he believes that George would have died if he didn't have that gun, if he didn't pull that trigger.
Trayvon would have killed him.
Absolutely.
This is a kid. He went to the...
This is a kid. He went to the store. So obviously, Dr. Phil is still of that same opinion. Here he is. Here's the kid. So when he says, this is a kid, and he puts his picture up, this is bias. I certainly hope that Dr. Phil will resolve this and fix his choice of words. And when you look at this little picture here, to me, this is bias. And all the news media that use these outdated pictures to bias the public opinion should be held responsible for that. And I would include Dr. Phil, especially at this late date, where we know this picture right here is about 3 or 4 years old compared to where he was, and we know that's not him. And I'm sure that they're going to show the other pictures that of these, why don't they just get out his baby pictures? That would be much more effective. I mean, if you're going to bias people, you might as well get out those big pictures, those big baby pictures of his where he's being held by his family. He's just a cute little thing.
He went to the store to get some Skittles, and he came home dead.
Now that is a really stupid point for a doctor to say. I'm sorry, I mean, I got some feedback on my points about the doctor, but he just said that he came home dead. You know, you just got to picture this. You know, Trayvon's got his Skittles, he's got his iced tea. He walks in the door and he goes, "Hey, Mom, hey, Dad, I'm home. Oh, by the way, I'm dead."
I like that.
All new Dr. Phil.
It's pretty sad that this supposed doctor is so biased and so clueless.
Killed him.
Absolutely.
This is a kid. He went to the store to get some Skittles, and he came home dead.
No, this is a kid who went to the store to get himself some munchies and hook up with some troubled teens. At least that's what it appears by the 7-Eleven video. And then on his way home, decided to attack and assault the guy that was keeping track of the neighborhood. So here you've got George, who's been selected by the neighborhood people to watch the neighborhood. He's on his way to the store or whatever he's doing. Who cares? He sees Trayvon, who looks suspicious. He tries to monitor his motions, and Trayvon disappears, comes back out of the darkness, and assaults George. That's all the evidence we have. If anybody has any evidence to the contrary or any evidence that suggests that George put his hands on Trayvon or somehow tried to detain him or anything like that, or anything that you can find, that you can prove, that's absolute evidence, witnesses that say that Trayvon was on the ground and being held down by George, anything like that we can verify, that would be great. And, that would change my mind. If you could prove that George was the one that was attacking Trayvon, bring it on, because I have no problem changing my mind. The problem is nobody has been able to. All the people who support Trayvon are going on emotion and completely ignoring the facts of the case, 100%. And then they'll tell me that I'm ignoring the facts of the case. Well, the facts of the case are Trayvon was beating George, but they'll say, yeah, they keep bringing up things that are possibilities, Well, it's possible that Trayvon was being detained by George. Well, that's a possibility, but guess what? There's no evidence of that. So it's not a fact. It's not even evidence in the case. That you can't just throw things up in the air and say, well, that's a possibility and that's a possibility. You can throw them up, but nobody's going to accept it as fact or even as good fiction. It's pretty sad that a guy that has this many viewers on TV would stoop so low to get more viewers, to get more people to watch his show, to come on YouTube and cut out these little clips and go back and forth on whether or not he supports George, who was the victim of the case, and then we keep getting these tidbits. Well, this last tidbit that I just showed you, where he's talking about Trayvon being a little kid, it pretty much makes the case that he's an idiot.
It's a neighborhood watch, not a neighborhood hunt.
George didn't hunt anybody. See, this is the problem with this doctor. He doesn't have a clue about the case. He's been only fed little tidbits from the media moguls, the people who pay his bills. Listen, he gets paid. Who do you think writes him a check? You don't think that he writes his own checks, do you? No, somebody writes him a check. He's getting paid. Let me ask you, do you think that those people support Trayvon or support George, the people that are writing his checks? So we have to assume that this is just his job, and whatever he says may or may not be his opinion. I would suggest probably not his opinion, that he's just being shoved and pushed into making these statements. So we'll see how the show comes out, and it definitely will be talking about it. But as far as I'm concerned, based on this clip, Dr. Phil is still 100% an idiot when it comes to this case. Good talking to you guys. Talk to you later. Bye.